It's time once again for another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. If you're watching this on YouTube, hopefully you will subscribe to this YouTube channel, tell your friends about it. And if you're watching this on Facebook, hopefully you will add this to your favorites, and you will also tell your friends about how to see, how to read, how to find the best in books. And hopefully I'm bringing that to your attention, because once again, I'm reviewing two very highly recommended coffee table books. The very first one is Perfect English Style: Recipes for Rooms That Are Comfortable, Pleasing, and Timeless by Rose Byam Shaw. This is published by Ryland, Peters & Small, and it retails for $65. Rose Byam Shaw is noted for a variety of home decor books. She has written such bestsellers as Perfect English Farmhouse, Perfect English Cottage, Perfect French Country, and many more. All her books are very highly recommended, and they pretty well deal with subjects, actually houses that are English styled. But you don't have to live in England to really appreciate and to duplicate a lot of what you see in this book. She covers it room by room. She starts with the hall. When you go into someone's house, that really is the introduction to the house, and you want to have a good focal point. You can add plants to it, you can add chairs, you can add pictures. It's sometimes the little things that really matter most. And Rose Byam Shaw is noted for her attention to detail. She leaves no part of the house unturned, and when she gives her suggestions, she really adds things that most people likely have never thought of. And in the book, she goes, room by room. She does the bedroom, the kitchen, the utility room, and any other place where you will need chairs, beds, fixtures, stands, lamps. Technically, the book is a who's who's or a what's what of the house. And she also talks about patina, she talks about fabrics, adding antiques to really bring a room to life as well too. Now I can't do every single page here, but there are full color photos, and she goes, like I said, her attention to detail is really amazing. And by the time you finish this book, you will definitely get a lot of ideas on what you can do with your home to make it stand out from the crowd. And when people come to visit you, they'll think, this is a very nice house. So if you're looking for a book, it's $65. But if you had an interior designer, they would charge a lot more than this. And Rose Byam Shaw is like your personal interior designer who, within the pages of this book, she really brings out the best in houses. So it is definitely a book that you should add to your collection if you're considering any home renovations and bringing out the best in your own house. The second book of note, and another great coffee table read, is Bittman Bread: No-Knead Whole Grain Baking for Every Day by Mark Bittman and Kerri Conan. This is published by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt, and it retails for $50. Anyone who's tried to bake bread knows that it sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. A lot goes into the preparation, and you have to knead the bread. Well, this book shows that there is no need for the kneading of bread. Mark Bittman has written at least 30 books on cooking and recipes and food, and he definitely knows his stuff. So in this book, he tells you how to make the perfect loaf of bread. And each recipe begins with what he calls the starter. And this is flour and water. But you just don't add the flour and water and then do your recipe. You set it aside. And it goes through a process sometimes of fermenting, so it brings out the best in the bread. And he talks about all the different grains that you can use to bake your breads. Now, there's mention of using a Dutch oven, but not everybody has a Dutch oven. So that is not really a prerequisite to bake bread, though in his world it does help. But anybody who has an oven can certainly prepare the bread, put it in the oven, and wait for the magic to happen. Now, in the book, he talks about the different types of grains and what you will add to really enhance the bread. You'll make sourdough bread or the whole wheat or 12 grains or whatever you try. And he also talks about the jump starter, which is, he uses bread and flour plus other ingredients, to really bring out the best in the bread without, as I mentioned, the need to knead the bread. And in the book, it's illustrated with a variety of pictures of all the kinds of bread, the textures, how to fold the bread to make it perfect before you put it in the oven to bake. And there's a science to that as well too. You just can't take it, plop it in. He folds it very delicately, but it's not just bread that he talks about. There's pizza. He tells how to make the perfect pizza dough, how to make muffins, waffles, any sort of item that you would need flour for. He basically shows you how to do it. Whether it's pancakes as well too, English muffin, rolls, bagels, you name it, it's in this book. And he tells us in detail how to make this so every batch of bread will be perfect. So if you're looking for inspiration, for a reference for making your bread, Bittman bread is definitely a book that you should add to your collection. And you need to add the book on no kneading to your library. So those are the two books I wanted to draw to your attention this time out. Hopefully you will definitely add them to your collection because they are both highly recommended. So I thank you for your time. Please do send me your comments if you agree or disagree with me. And I'll be back real soon. So until then, stay safe, stay sane, stay social distancing, and stay in touch. Thanks again for watching, and bye for now.